Let's see, where is my? I'd like to call this meeting of the August 18th, 2025 Wilkes County Board of Education to order. First, I'd like to remind the public that the meeting is being televised on Spectrum and Greenlight Channel 22 and live streamed through the Wilkes County Schools YouTube channel. The public can also view the meeting by downloading the Wilkes County Schools TV 22 app and through links on the district's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages and the website. Do I hear a motion on the agenda?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Breen.
I move that we amend the agenda to reflect an action item under the Administrative Services Committee report.
All right. It has been moved by Mr. Breen and seconded by Mr. Batts and Dr. Fitch that we amend the agenda to add an action item under the Administrative Services Committee. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, the amendment is amended. So do we need to have a approval for the full? All right. Ms. Powell, would you be willing?
I move that we approve the agenda for the August 18th, 2025 meeting of the Wilkes County Board of Education. As amended. Thank you.
Second.
Who seconded that?
Second.
Mr. Breen? All right.
Yeah.
So it has been moved by Ms. Powell, seconded by Mr. Breen, that we approve the agenda as amended. Is there any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'm going to give it to Ms. Powell for the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence.
Stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right, board members, next on the agenda, we have the approval of the minutes. I think everybody's got the minutes from July 21st in front of them.
Mr. Chairman,
Dr. Fitch?
I move that the minutes of the July 21st, 2025 regular board meeting be approved.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Dr. Fitch, seconded by Ms. Boyette and Mr. Batts, that the minutes for the July 21st, 2025 meeting be approved. Is there any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Good news presentation. Dr. Mills.
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Powell.
Board members, audience members, for tonight, we've got several awards and folks to recognize. First up, we've got our Rookie All-Star Award. And for our first time, we're recognizing the members of our district-wide competitive high school robotics team called the Whirlybots. If the team members and coaches could please come to the front. You'll slide in.
Slide on over.
Y'all can go right across.
Come on over.
There you go.
Come on over.
Big crowd. We're starting off with full house tonight. Here we go. Let me tell you about these folks. The Whirlybots team consists of students from across our high schools and early colleges who are interested in the areas of engineering, design, building, computer science, journalism, and marketing. Throughout the school year, the team met regularly to design and build a fully functional, industrial-sized robot from raw materials to enter into regional and state competitions. At the Wake County competition, the Whirly Bots were chosen by judges to receive the Rookie All-Star Award, a prestigious recognition given to a new robotics team dedicated to fostering a culture of innovation, teamwork, and friendly sportsmanship to inspire students to learn more about STEM. The team is currently recruiting new members for the 25-26 school year. More information on how to join the Whirly Bots can be found on our district website and social media channels. We're very proud of them and what they've accomplished. Obviously, most of us can't even pronounce some of the things you've done or figure out how to do what you've done. So you've represented us at a great capacity and done it well by being recognized for this Rookie All-Star Award in a big competition. So thank you all to the coaches for the extra work and the mentor and the volunteers who supported them, and families and parents who've been also there for the support. Congratulations. You're very deserving. We're very proud of you. Well, don't run. We got to get some pictures real quick.
Make sure you show them the back of that shirt. It's very handsome.
It's a serious-looking crowd. I mean, really. There we go. Nicely done. Thank y'all. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Board members, audience members, next up is the Wilson County Schools 2025-26 Teacher of the Year. Tonight, we want to recognize Wilson Early College Academy WECA history teacher Shannon Campbell for being named our 25-26 Wilson County Schools Teacher of the Year. I know Shannon's already forgotten it, but we surprised her with the news on May 7th in the middle of the campus courtyard right after a fire drill with her students, staff, and her family, and all those special guests. Obviously, she knew what was happening because she was so overwhelmed, right?
I was crying.
That was it, yeah. It was a good cry, though. It wasn't an ugly cry. It was a good cry, I thought. Yeah. So let me tell you about Ms. Campbell. We're excited about as our teacher there. She's starting her 15th year of teaching. She began her career with Wilson County Schools in 2011 as a social studies teacher at Bettyfield before transitioning to WECA in 2016. She is an incredible teacher, obviously, but she has the exceptional ability to connect with students and foster that genuine love of learning and inspire academic excellence. In just 2 years of teaching AP History, she has achieved a 100% pass rate for her students on the AP exam, which is a really incredible testament to that instructional practice and deep commitment to student success. She's also a collaborative leader whose impact reaches across the district. She will now advance to the regional level of the statewide Teacher of the Year competition. Sorry about that. That's part of the piece. But we know you really enjoy that. Ms. Campbell, you are truly deserving this honor, and you will represent us well. And we're very excited for you, and congratulations. And I think you got some family and friends here with you as well. Bless his heart, he and your students are here too. Yes. And your principal. Yes. So, congratulations. Anything you'd like to share with the audience?
Just honored to represent Wilson County Schools. I'm going to do my best.
And see, we didn't surprise you or dump anything on you this time. That was really nice, wasn't it? Congratulations. Round of applause. Pictures. Thank you, Shannon. Board members, audience members, next on our agenda is the Wilson County Schools 25-26 Principal of the Year. Yeah. Ah. We want to recognize Vic Elementary Principal, Miss Annette Faison, for being named our 25-26 Principal of the Year. You know, we really surprised her with the news on May 1st in her gym with all of her students and staff in attendance, which was a really easy feat, by the way, as well as special guests, which were her family, which we really loved getting to know. And they told us many stories about you, which we really appreciate knowing that. And I want to thank them personally again for all that personal information. But it was a really wonderful event and very deserving. Let me tell you, Ms. Faison has more than 20 years of experience in education, with 11 of those years as administrator. She's beginning her 5th year as principal of Vic, and she began her career with us in 2001 as a teacher at Hearn. But at Vic, these are some of the things we wanted to share. She's created a very close-knit school community where students are seen, supported, and celebrated. Her strong leadership and a focus on building systems that work together has created empowerment among her staff, which she calls her what? Her crew, yeah. I'm going to get it out. Give me a second. I'm like building momentum here, Annette, okay? What she calls her crew. I had it right here, I know. To believe in their ability to drive change. In just 2 years, this collaborative approach has led to a 22-point jump in their academic achievement rating, proving that when teachers are supported, with good leadership, students succeed. She will now advance to the regional level of statewide Principal of the Year competition. Annette, Ms. Faison, we congratulate you, we celebrate you, and we are glad you're here, and we're proud of you. Anybody you'd like to recognize? Anybody you'd like to recognize tonight? I know who your crew is, yeah. So it's picture time for you now. Yeah, no Skittles, sorry. Yeah. Next time. I brought you 5 bags to the event. Did I get shared any? No. Congratulations, Annette. And last recognition tonight is board members and audience members is our Wilson County Schools 25-26 Career and Technical Education CTE Teacher of the Year. And that person is from Fike High Foods and Nutrition 1 and 2 teacher Tiffany Ellis with us. Come on down. Now, Ms. Ellis was selected from among all the CTE teachers in our middle and high schools with at least 5 years of experience through a competitive application process. She's beginning her 7th year of teaching, and her principal, Dr. Ross Renfro, shared that she is a wonderful teacher who is genuine, consistent, and adored by her students. Ms. Ellis is a product of Wilson County Schools and graduated from Bedingfield High School. She credits her career path to a high school CTE course that brought in a guest chef. She loved to cook, and after hearing the chef's presentation, she knew from that day forward that she wanted to pursue a culinary arts career. We are proud of you, and we're very thankful for your culinary arts career. For those of you who have sampled the wares, which I definitely have, we're very proud of you, Miss Ellis. And you've been cooking up evident excellence from day one. Thanks, Amber. And we're thrilled that you're receiving this recognition. You very deserve it, and we wish you much success this year. But we do love coming to visit your classroom, seeing your students in action, and you do a great job. Congratulations. You brought everybody out. Congratulations, Tiffany. And that's all for tonight, board members.
We'll pause in case anybody wants to leave. Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Those are cool.
All right, next on the agenda, we have the chairman's report. So I'd like to start by saying the summer has felt very short. We hope everybody's had a safe and fun summer break as we move back into the start of our new school year. We have all confidence that we will have a great start for students and staff. We'd like to thank the Wave Church volunteers for almost 40 projects that they've completed at our facilities. This is a huge help, and it's gonna really welcome back and give a warm welcome to our students. Last Thursday, the district held its Racing to Success Teacher Learning Conference. I know Ms. Powell was there, and myself. I don't know if anybody else was. But there were 210 sessions that were held that day with over 830 staff members attending. I was very impressed with the content and the participation. Thank you to everybody that helped out in putting on this wonderful event. Lastly, as I'm sure many of you have seen in the news recently, Springfield Middle School looks very different than it did a year ago. This project's come a long way very quickly. I'd like to thank Dr. Williams, his staff, and Barnhill for all that they've contributed to repairing the damage from the tornado that hit Springfield Middle School. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Mills for his superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Board members, audience members, it is hard to believe, but we are exactly 1 week away from the first day of school for students in our traditional schools. I got to tell you, that's a little freaky to say out loud, but it is true. Students return to us on Monday the 25th. Schools will be holding open houses all week, so it's very important that parents and everyone gets out. We've been communicating that information out through phone calls and social media, so you'll notice that'll ramp up. The phone calls ramp up for a little bit at the start of the school year. But it's very important that folks get out and make those connections at the start of the school year. But again, summer's over. Obviously, been over for the early colleges. They got out earlier, though. But it's time for everyone to head back, and we're excited. We are also excited to welcome more than 40 beginning teachers to our district. They were in the BT orientation for several days during the week of August 5th. Myself and others had a chance to go through some things. Chairman Boykin had some time with them, and they're in good hands with our mentors, Tanja Best and Amy Evans, who worked with them throughout the school year. But I want to thank all the staff members who led sessions during that orientation on everything from policies and curriculum and instructional practices to safety processes and other things. It's very overwhelming to come into a new place. A lot of homegrown people, but also new faces, new places, and that good start and those connections are very important. So we really try and get our folks in and make them feel a part of things early on, but it is a lot starting out. So we're thankful for the support. I also want to thank our instructional services department, including especially our technology department. As Mr. Boykin was just mentioning, for the Teaching and Learning Conference last week at Hunt, and thanks to the folks at Hunt for letting us take over the building for the week, or just a day. Probably felt like a month right before school starts, but also for letting us use their building. But a busy day of professional development, and with more than 830 staff members coming in, 210 sessions for PD, and our own folks supporting it. So I want to thank everyone who shared their expertise, and our own folks are doing that and offering that. So that's unusual for systems to still be able to do that, get that credit. and start the year off. So the school year's upon us. We've had our training, we've got our open houses, and next thing you know, you'll be seeing the buses on the road. So I would encourage everyone to get up early and plan ahead and be ready. The summer is definitely over. So we're excited to have everybody back. Mr. Chair, that's all I got.
All right. Next on the agenda, we have our section for public input. And this section is for each person is granted 3 minutes for his or her presentation. This portion of the meeting is for the board to hear matters of interest to the public. However, obscene or vulgar statements, personal attacks, and statements reasonably perceived to be disruptive or imminently threatening to the orderly operation of the meeting shall not be permitted. Tonight, we don't have anybody signed up, so we're going to move into the next section, which is committee reports. And first on that, we have administrative services with Mr. Breen.
I promise I will not attack faculty or staff or make any other disparaging comments as well, as precluded by our public comment policy. But the first thing we had was the Springfield Middle School update. Mr. Boykin, 100% correct, way better than it looked a year ago. However, we're about like we looked 2 years ago. We've got a brand-new roof with a 20-year warranty. They were able to match the color of the roof with the existing color of the roof. We have everything all bricked in and stained to match. From the exterior, you can barely tell that a tornado even came through. Final inspections are set to occur August the 19th. We're going to move in and install furniture between September the 8th and September the 19th. We have shelving scheduled to arrive September the 19th through September the 25th. And the last piece is locker delivery and assembly, and we are currently working on a schedule for that. As Dr. Williams pointed out during the committee meeting, we are definitely on track to beat our original anticipated reentry date into those wings of the building. That initial reentry date was projected to be the first day of spring semester next year. So again, congratulations to that team. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. We really appreciate everybody who worked hard to make this a reality for those kids for this coming semester. The next information we received Amber Lynch had a message for families and staff for us and gave us a communication and marketing overview regarding what we're doing. As I hope all of you know, we are currently utilizing social media, Facebook and Instagram. Twitter, I'm not going to call it by its new name, absolutely refuse. Please note that all of our schools have their own social media accounts. There are some stray accounts out there. For example, there's the Hunt High School account, and then there's a stray one called James B. Hunt. That is just a person. That is not the school account. We do maintain a web presence at wilsonschoolsnc.net. Do not Google Wilson Schools without that NC, otherwise you'll get information about a school system in Tennessee. We still provide direct communication through automated calls and emails. We're utilizing print broadcast media thanks to our friends at the Wilson Times and articles in state publications like EdNC and stories that feature us on local TV channels that highlight news or celebrations for the district. Additionally, we have a YouTube channel that we use to share videos and our reels and shorts. We also appear on WCS-TV 22, which if you're watching us on TV, that's what you're watching me on now, so I'm glad I get to share that with you on TV. We've also added slides celebrating that are informational and celebrate different milestones and things we have done within the school system. We also send out a bi-monthly newsletter that we share with families and staff called Our Story that contains news, celebrations, updates, and reminders. For those who are looking for jobs and more on the career side, we also maintain a district-level LinkedIn page. Some of the new additions that we added this last school year were we're starting to utilize Reels and Shorts. Reels are short-form videos for those of you on Instagram and Facebook. And we also transitioned to a new website platform called a Final Site, which sort of streamlines navigation and makes things a lot easier for families, staff, and the community. What we're working on is new slides for TV. We're continuing to try to increase our footprint on LinkedIn, continuing to utilize those reels and add additional reels that highlight more career opportunities and the specific programs we have across the district, things like STEM, CTE, arts, our college and career promise stuff. The goal is to also produce commercial-style reels to promote the district as a whole and to attract staff and get students energized about the programs that we have in and around the district. And we're also going to start utilizing some paid advertising as well. The next thing we received information on were two contracts. The first with Wheeler Electric Company in the amount of $37,500. That's to provide electrical work for winterizing the Hunt High School outdoor bathroom facilities. That's just for information, but we're also going to do that same winterization both at Beddingfield and Fike. The last contract we received information about was Smith and Company rental bleachers. As you can imagine, that was to rent some bleachers. If you've driven down Tillman Road, you have probably noticed the visitor side bleachers at Fike. Those have been torn down and removed, and there is a beautiful set of rental visitor bleachers waiting to be installed. We just got to put the foundation down so we can roll those on there safely. And that is in the amount of $34,330.80. As amended, we also have one action item, and that is the approval of a contract with Moy Fence Company. Yeah, in the amount of $130,774 to provide mulch for all of our playgrounds and make sure our playgrounds are safe for all the kids coming back to school. And with that being said, Mr. Chair,
Mr. Breen.
on behalf of the Administrative Services Committee, we recommend to the, we'd ask the court, we'd move the board adopt the contract with Moy Fence Company as recommended by the administration to provide mulch for all district playgrounds in the amount of $130,774.
All right, motion's been made by Mr. Breen, seconded by Dr. Fitch and Mr. Batts, that we approve the contract with Moy Fence Company to provide playground mulch for all of Wilson County Schools playgrounds in the amount of $130,774. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
And Mr. Chair, that concludes my report from the Administrative Services Committee.
All right, thank you, Mr. Breen. Next up on the agenda, we have Instructional Services Committee report with Mrs. Boyette.
The Instructional Services Committee met this afternoon at 4:30, and all of the committee members were there, and along with other board members. We have lots of information items to cover tonight. The first thing were contracts requiring board notification. There are two. The first is with CDWG for the Google Workspace license renewal in the amount of $43,322.50. And the second is with Renaissance, where we get our STAR assessments and the annual all-product Renaissance platform for elementary and middle schools in the amount of $56,009.03. Once again, that was just for notification. The next item we discussed was our summer programming update, and I am very excited, so excited that I asked Ms. May to please share this with everyone watching us online or in attendance, because the news is very good. So, Ms. May, if you would please share what happened this summer in Wilson County Schools that we want to crow about.
Yes, ma'am. So our theme for our summer program was Racing to Success, same theme that we had for our beginning of the year conference. We'd first like to highlight our results from proficiency summer retesting. This occurred at all of our schools, and we gained 699 proficient scores as a result of that retesting.
And just in case you didn't hear that number, 699 students passed that would not have passed without summer school. Okay, thank you.
Yes, and we are super proud of that number because that number is higher than last year's number, and that number does not include retesting for science. So fifth grade science, eighth grade science, biology, because it's a new test this past year for those science areas, they were not able to retest. So even without them, we were able to have more proficient students on that retest than we did the year before. So this slide outlines the impact of that summer retesting, and you can see that in all areas, we grew at least 6 percentage points. Overall, EOG and EOC combined, we grew 6.3 percentage points. So we are very pleased with that progress that we saw from our retesting. Also, this summer, we provided 3 weeks of reading instruction for select students in kindergarten through 3rd grade. And as you can see on this slide, our students made tremendous progress, even with such a short program, just in 3 weeks. We saw 68.75% of our kindergarten students' performance increased on the 95% group assessment. 1st grade, we had 65% of students show an increase in their performance. 2nd grade had an average gain of 29.3 lexile points, and 16 students moved to reading proficiency. And then in 3rd grade, we had 42 students that demonstrated reading proficiency for Read to Achieve. We just included some pictures of our students learning this summer in K-3. In 4-5, we offered instruction in reading and math, and as you can see here on this slide, we had proficiency gains in both areas, reading and math, and these gains were measured by a pre-test and a post-test during the 3 weeks that we provided instruction. We also serve students in middle school this summer, roughly about 30 students per grade level, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And we're very, very proud of the progress that they made. You can see that they had substantial gains in math instruction, ranging from 12 percentage points to 25 percentage points, as measured by the pre- and post-assessments. Also, important to note, through our partnership with Johnson & Johnson and the Smithsonian Institute, our middle school students that were with us this summer were able to participate in hands-on biotechnology activities. So you can see students here extracting DNA from strawberries. This slide outlines our high school summer results. So you can see that overall we had 140 high school students who attended summer school this summer, and those students recovered 113 credits. Some pictures of our high school students working this summer. We also hosted a District C group. That group worked with Cameron Cochran, the Executive Director of Wilson Forward. Students partnered with them to provide insight on ways that Wilson Forward could better connect with the community with vital resources and information. So you can see them pictured here with Ms. Cochran. We appreciate the partnership of Wilson Forward in that program. We also hosted programs this summer for health science, drones, computer science, agriculture, carpentry, and culinary. And all of these students in these areas had opportunities to meet industry representatives during their program. Some pictures here of students in health science learning about how germs are transmitted, and then students learning to fly drones in the summer program. Students in our agriculture program had the opportunity to make homemade ice cream, build miniature greenhouses, and meet industry partners as well. Very pleased to report that out of those credits that we recovered this summer, we were able to add 21 graduates to the class of 2025 as a result of our summer programs. And then lastly, we had an amazing staff this summer. We would like to give a shout out to our site administrators, Rosalind Waddell at Vic, Carla Alston at Vincent Bynum, Mary Elizabeth West at Wells, Morgan Stevenson at Forest Hills, and Kelly Courier at Hunt. And we would just also like to thank everyone who worked the summer program and our community partners who partnered with us and worked with our students as well.
Thank you, Ms. May, and all of this shows what you can do when you have money that you can use to keep these programs going. We are a little concerned, more than a little concerned. The second and third grade summer courses will be able to be continued because they're state funds, but the other funds were leftover ESSER funds, Title I funds, and some that we had carry over, but those are federal funds, and with our federal funds being cut this year, we are concerned that we will not be able to offer these summer programs and activities that we have been offering in the past. So this is proof that they do work. Would you, Mr. Marks, would you briefly come up, or either Ms. May, go over the amount of scholarships and the number of graduates that we had to highlight some of our secondary high school? If you would cover just the graduates, the scholarships, and some of the career and college promise information about students that are able to get 2 years of college credit, even if they don't attend WECA and Watt.
Sure thing, Ms. Boyette. First off, Wilson County Schools had 804 graduates between our 3 traditional high schools and our 2 early colleges as well. Students in Wilson County Schools who graduated this year were offered over $18 million in scholarships, with over $6 million being accepted. A huge shout out goes out to WECA alone. Our students at WECA received over $10 million in scholarship offers for this year. We also had over 59 students who graduated summa cum laude, 65 students who graduated magna cum laude, and 71 students who graduated cum laude between our 5 schools. And referencing our students who took CCP classes, we had over 909 credits earned this year in both fall and spring semesters, and with over 1,000 attempts at that as well. So we had 909 college credits earned just through our CCP program, and that's in conjunction with Wilson Community College and our 3 traditional high schools as well. So that doesn't even include the CCP credits earned at both WECA and Watt. So that is something definitely to be celebrated as well.
And during our committee meeting, Mr. Marks shared something that was news to me a couple of years ago. These are high school students at Fight, Hunt, and Bedingfield that are taking these courses through in conjunction with Wilson Community College. So even though they're not attending Watt and WECA, they are able to gain this course credit, which is a huge financial plus if they're going to college, or any way you look at it, it's a huge financial plus. So I want to make sure that every parent, even those of us in education, need to be better educated on the opportunities that are here for students in our traditional as well as our early colleges. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
lots of things to be proud of and pleased of, and we were thoroughly pleased this afternoon when these were shared with us. The next item that we have are revised policies, and there are quite a few of them. They are all for first reading. I'll briefly go through them. First one is 1510, 4200, 7270, school safety. This was adding a statement about roles and responsibilities of principals, supervisors, and superintendents to bring it in line with the School Boards Association policies and recommendations. The next one was revised policy 1725, 4035, 7236, Title I, sexual harassment, prohibited conduct, and reporting process. This adds definitions or defines thoroughly the prohibited behaviors. And there again, to align with the school board and the School Boards Association and legal. The next one, revised policy 1726, 4036, 7237, Title IX, sexual harassment grievance procedures. This makes some minor changes, and I believe that we rejected one of those or suggestions in discussion, and they asked that to be looked at again, so we will see that policy again in a second reading. We'll see all of them in a second reading, but we asked for changes. The next one, revised policy 2130, board member travel and other expense reimbursement. This aligns what the board members' forms go, how it is written with those standard state employees, so everything matches all the procedures and the amounts. The next one, revised policy 2302, remote participation in board meetings, was defined something we were already doing, which means that if we're having a remote participation in a meeting, excuse me, must have a roll call vote. The next one was a result of that, revised policy 2342, voting method, spells out that all remote meetings, if it's everyone, or if it in an emergency, or if it's just an individual who has an approved reason for being out, that those would both be, we changed that some so that once again, roll call votes would be required. Revised policy 4040, 7310, staff-student relations. This just very little change, but it made everything match current statutes and guidelines. Revised policy 4240, 7312, child abuse, human trafficking, and related threats to child safety, reporting, investigating, and training. Once again, aligns everything with current terms in the legal system and definitions. Revised policy 6125, administering medicines to students. This policy would have made a change in the way administration of short-term prescriptions are done for students. We had questions about that and have asked for changes to be made in that. It will match our new form, but we had concerns about the rewriting of that. And following that, we had administrative regulation 6125, which would align with the policy to give guidance to our administrators, and that would also have to be changed to match the changes we requested in the policy, or no change in the policy. In other words, the considerations we asked. Next was revised policy 6330, insurance for student transportation services. This is making sure that we have everything covered as far as said school-owned, and now we do own and lease vehicles and rent sometimes. And we had some questions and wanted something added in about the contracted services to make sure that everything was covered, or that we had covered every base there. The next one is 7130 licensure. Very little change here, line 86 had, this is where there was a suggested change that we rejected or asked to be studied again. And so that will come back to us on that next read with those reflections. And those are all of the revised policies, once again, all on the first read that we discussed today, and just ask for things to be changed, and we'll see those all again next month. There's one action item. It was our school mental health plan, which will be in from 2025 to 2030. Ms. Baggett presented the plan to us. She showed us where the data came from, identified strengths and needs, and then shared the plan with us. So on behalf of the Instructional Services Committee, I move to approve the school mental health plan 2025 to 2030.
Second.
All right, a motion has been made by Mrs. Boyette, seconded by Ms. Powell, that we approve the school mental health plan 2025 through 2030. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Chair, that completes our committee's report.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you very much, Mrs. Boyette. Some great news coming out of committees. Next on the agenda, we have a discussion action item for the North Carolina School Boards Association Awards. And this comes to us every year, and it's for nominations for our board to put forth to the North Carolina School Board Association for them to consider giving awards. So,
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Green.
I have two, and both of them are board members deserving of recognition. First for Raleigh Dean, I'd recommend that we nominate Beverly Boyette. Miss Boyette, in addition to her regular duties as a board member, sort of keeps her finger on the pulse of what other school districts are doing and what's successful to them, and suggests implementation of those projects. And in my opinion, most certainly does more than me in regards to keeping an eye on what's happening across the nation and trying to bring those kinds of innovations to Wilson. The other, for the Champion of Education Award, I would nominate Deborah Powell. Miss Powell's dedication to this board, to consistently receiving board training. I don't know that there's a class that she's ever missed ever that has been offered by the North Carolina School Board Association. She is dedicated and remains the most stringent advocate on this board for ensuring that our population of exceptional children are taken care of, and raises questions regarding how we best serve that population constantly, all the time, and really make sure that we don't lose sight of what this board is supposed to do, which is serve all children. We have the pleasure and the benefit of doing that in the public school system, and she makes sure that population is not just adequately supported, but is given more support, I would contend, than other school districts may be willing to give.
All right. Do we need to take that in the form of a motion? All right, Mr. Brown?
I move that we nominate Beverly Boyette for the Raleigh Dingman Award and Deborah Powell for the Champion of Education Award.
All right, it has been moved by Mr. Breen and seconded by Mr. Batts that we nominate Mrs. Beverly Boyette for the Raleigh Dingman Award and Miss Deborah Powell for the Champion of Education Award. Is there any discussion? All in favor of this motion, let it be known by the sign of aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Do we want to, do anything with the County Commissioners of the Year or the Innovation and Excellence in Public Education?
Is it possible to nominate our entire summer program as the Innovation and Excellence in Public Education Award? I don't know what the long description is,
Like the Racing to Success?
Yeah, whatever we called it.
Innovation Congress. Good, good.
Okay.
Because
It's been multiple years.
helping to improve our student performance.
Absolutely.
And if you wrapped in the Johnson & Johnson and the Smithsonian in there, as well as the local businesses and.
Amber's one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
but if Amber can figure out how to do that more articulately than,
Amber loves doing that.
yeah. But that, I mean, those results that we received are fantastic. What we did in concert with Johnson & Johnson with the biochemical stuff, especially on the back of Wilson Community College building their new biochem lab, and us being able to develop more students for the future as Johnson & Johnson hopefully continues to grow their footprint in Wilson County. I think that may be the best and most appropriate way to highlight that and to highlight our success, especially since we have exhausted all of our ESSER funds.
oh, yeah. Well, the floor is open for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that,
You want me
We-
to get it? You want me to get it?
I believe in you. I feel like I did the heavy lifting. I'll let you.
Mr. Chair, I move that we submit a nomination to the North Carolina School Boards Association for our summer program, Racing to Success, for the Innovation in Education Award.
Second.
All right, it has been moved by Dr. Fitch and seconded by Mr. Breen that we nominate the Racing to Success program for the Innovation and Excellence in Public Education Award. Is there any discussion?
Just briefly, has that been up the entire time I was talking about it?
It has.
And then I feel super foolish, but that would end my entire discussion point.
All right. If I hear no further discussion, then all in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. All right, if I hear nothing else, then I am going to ask Ms. Powell to help me out.
All right, certainly will. I'm just kind of in shock right now, so I'm sorry. I move that the Wilson County Board of Education go into closed session to consider confidential personnel matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and 6 and 115C-319 through 321. To consider confidential student matters as provided in the North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A1 and North Carolina General Statute 115C-402, and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20, United States Code 1232G, and to consult with the Board of Education attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Ms. Powell, seconded by Ms. Boyette, that we the Wilkes County Board of Education go into closed session to consider confidential personnel matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A1 and 6, and 115C-319 through 321 to consider confidential student matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A1 and North Carolina General Statute 115C-402 and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20 U.S.C. 1232G, and to consult with the Board of Education attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A3. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries unanimously. We are moving into closed session.